So in this video, we have a soon-to-be 31-year-old woman, and she recently did a video about, talking about how she's, turning 31. She doesn't have any kids, and, she's talking about how she someday wants, to be married and have children. And of course, she put out the video, and then a bunch of guys responded. Guys are gonna say what they're gonna say, how she washed and all that stuff. And then she did a follow-up video, responding to the men that reacted to her video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the follow-up video first. I'll play that video, and then I'll play the original video after that. So let's listen to the follow-up video and hear what she has to say.
So I posted a video last night, not expecting for it to go viral overnight. And let me tell you, the video went to the complete wrong audience from what I was expecting. I posted a little video about just being 30, 31, still single, and not having kids yet, but still wanting those things. And let me tell you, the uproar of men in the comments that are so incredibly triggered and upset by the thought of a 31-year-old woman that is still single and doesn't have kids, but still is planning for those things one day is absolutely insane.
I mean, one thing I'll say this, you got to understand this. It's the internet, right? It's social media. If you're going to put a video out there to social media, expect to get comments. Right, you can't control who's gonna watch your videos, who's gonna click on your videos. Some people just click on it and they're gonna say a whole bunch of things. Right, this is something that you got to get used to as a person that's gonna create content online. It just comes with the territory. If it's something that you can't handle, then you probably don't want to be in this space, because people say a lot of things and you don't necessarily have the control over who's gonna see your content. So it's just what it is, and it's just something you got to deal with.
And it just goes to show how many negative connotations with a 30-something-year-old woman still being single and independent and self-sufficient and living their life, but still wanting to be a mother and a wife one day. It's absolutely insane. And the thought that a 30-year-old is pretty much on their deathbed is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because if you've been an OG follower, you know that I lost 100 pounds in my 20s. I completely transformed my life, completely changed everything. And now at 31, I feel better. I feel more energetic. I feel younger. I feel stronger, more confident, all of the things than I did 10, 12 years ago. I feel better now at 31 than I did at 19, 20, because I'm taking such good care of myself. And it just goes to show that when you are taking care of yourself, age is truly just a number. And 30 was my best year. So
now, I know a lot of women like to say age is just a number, but I mean those eggs, they don't care. They don't care. You have a certain time period where it's the best time to actually have children, and guys know this, right? Guys understand this, and of course I know women understand this, but I know a lot of women like to take the pressure off of themselves by saying age is just a number. But obviously the older you get, the more dried up those eggs are going to be. And for a lot of men, they know this, and they say, all right, they try to veer away from women that are in their 30s, because especially if you're a man that doesn't have children, having a woman in their 30s is just the potential for complications and all types of things when it comes to having bearing children becomes more difficult. All right. So I know a lot of women like to take a lot of pressure off themselves by saying age isn't just a number when it comes to someday having children. But, it's something where you got to understand, hey, time is ticking, right? It's something that you got to be, all right, I got to be more intentional with when it comes to, who I select as a person I want to have children with. And, understand that a lot of guys that probably in the comment section know this, and they say, hey, you're in your 30s. This is not something that you want to waste time on. So, you got to understand it from both sides. But yeah, the whole age is just a number. Yeah, when it comes to having children, man, it's something that you want to just, be a little bit more intentional with it.
So far, it was my favorite year. I feel the best that I've ever felt in my life, and I'm so excited for my 30s. I have so much in store for this decade. And I saw some comments like, oh, just wait till your 40s, wait till your 50s. I cannot wait for my 40s. I'm so excited for that decade, because I know that it's just going to keep getting better and better. I view aging as a privilege and an honor that so many people don't get the opportunity to experience. Kind of speaking to myself and you guys as well, if you're in your 30s, if in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond, and you're single but still longing for finding that person or having a family one day, just know that your life is not over at 30. There's so much in store. You're so young. You have so many years ahead of you. your life also isn't over at 40 or 50. You have so much to look forward to. Also advancement in modern medicine and fertility treatments where women are able to have kids at a lot older age than before. And there's also so many other options for creating a family that you can do. There's adoption, there's fostering, there's so many different things that you can consider. So just know that your life is not over in your 30s, and if you're reading the comments on my last video, just don't listen to that negativity. I don't at all, because I know that it's not true, and God has a plan for you, God has a plan for everyone, and just live your life.
I mean, of course you.
So I posted a video last night, not expecting.
You're listening to the negativity because you're obviously responding to it. So I mean, obviously that's nonsense. But we're gonna go to the other video. But let me say this: like, congratulations on losing 100 pounds. Like, if you see her videos, man, she was a big girl. Like, she lost a lot of weight. Like, she was a really big girl. And the fact that, you know, a person can lose that much weight, you know, you gotta commend them, because that is a lot of women. There's a lot of people that don't put in the effort and the work to do it. So I'll say that. But let's listen to this her original video where the guys were commenting, and I'll respond to it.
So I'm 31. Actually, I'm 30. I'm gonna be 31 in 2 weeks, but almost there anyways. And I'm still single and never been married, no kids. And I do want all of those things, but I feel like it's not talked about enough. Kind of like the weird period when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and pretty much everyone you know is married with kids, and they're pretty much like settled in life, or so it seems, and you just feel like you are completely at a different stage. And it's like you want those things, but I also don't want to settle, and I don't want to just find the first person that's like willing to get married and have kids just to say that I did that. I'm wanting to wait and, you know, wait for the person that can give me what I need and what I deserve, because I know.
Boom, right there. And this is the issue that I have, right? There was a couple of things. She talked about settling. The one thing I have an issue with when it comes to a lot of women that say, I'm not going to settle, this is my issue with it, right? Who regardless of whoever you choose, you're in essence going to be settling, right? So let's say, like, you know, the woman's like, you know, I'm not going to settle for a guy that makes 60K, 50K, 70K, whatever, whatnot. I'm gonna look for the guy that's making 200K, all right? Well, if you get the guy that makes 200K, well, you're settling because there's a guy that makes 500K, right? So let's say, boom, you know what? I'm going to give the guy that's 500K. Well, you're settling still because there's a guy that makes $1 million. So in essence, you're always settling. And when I hear women talk like that, it's just almost like the guy that you get, it's never going to be enough, because whatever you're doing, that whatever guy you choose, you're going to be settling. Because there's always somebody that makes more money. There's always somebody that has a better car. There's always somebody that's taller. You know, if you go for the guy that's 6'1", there's a guy that's 6'2", 6'3". There's always something better. So in essence, like, you'll always be settling. And so women, you would always have that mindset that, you know what, the guy that I'm with, there's someone better. So maybe I should be going for that person. So it's almost impossible to be satisfied. Also, she talks about, I'm gonna get what I deserve. I deserve. Well, I mean, who determines what you deserve? Like, you deserve what you work for, right? You deserve like whatever you work for. I mean, you deserve the things that you work for, that the things that you actually put in the effort to. Don't think you just deserve something because you exist, right? Because you're a woman, whatever, you think you deserve this. Why do you deserve it? Are you putting in the work? Are you taking the necessary steps to get the things that you want? Are you taking the steps to find the man that you want, that's going to provide you the life that you want and make and have and build a family with? Right? Don't just think that you deserve these things because you're you. That's just not the way the world works. Right? And I know a lot of women like to say God's going to take care of it, but that just removes the responsibility from yourself. Like, God wants you to also take the steps and say, all right, let me put myself in a position where I can find that man and build a family with. Right? Don't just say God's going to take care of it, because then it's like, okay, you don't have to do anything. All right? You have to actually, you know, put in the work and actually take the steps in order to find the person that you want, that's going to help you build that life that you're looking for. So let's let her finish up, and then I don't think she has too much. Let me see.
I know that I bring a lot to the table, and I'm expecting that from someone else as well. But no one talks about this like weird in-between time where you're content with your life and you're happy and you find joy in yourself and in your life and you feel fulfilled. But at the same time, it's like you're longing for that partnership and that family and for that life.
Yeah, that's called the biological clock, right? That's what's going on. Like you could say to yourself that, you know what, if I don't find anywhere, I'll be happy, I'll be content. But in reality, there's a lot of women in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s that have a lot of regret. Right, they regret, like, damn, I never got married, I never, was able to have children, never was able to build that life that I wanted, and there's a lot of regret in that, right? So, like I said, man, you may not stop looking for the perfect guy, because no perfect guy exists. Look for a guy that's gonna bring stability, it's gonna bring you protection, provision, and look, I'm not just saying settle for anything, but however, like I said, you only have so much time, right? You're 31 years old. I know a lot of women look at, there's 40-year-olds having children, sure, but in general, you want to have it as young as possible. But that's just my thoughts. So just to hear your thoughts, make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. So guys, take care. Have a good one. Later.